For today's self-healing session, I worked with a beautiful volunteer. His name is Mathias, and there are so many things that I love about him and the session and working with him. He's just brilliant, just a brilliant mind, beautiful, beautiful being. And of course, I always love watching people get results and create a shift in their health where they can feel it. And so that is one of the many things that I love about today's session. So as I began working with Mathias, one of the things that I also love is that he came in and immediately one of the things he said, I don't know how you're able to get these results. And he said, the thing is for him is that he doesn't really have any trauma. And I love that awareness, just that feeling that he doesn't have any trauma, and that's fantastic. And yet, when we think about the mind-body connection, it doesn't necessarily require trauma. You hear me talk about this all of the time. If we simplify it for a moment, if we just simplify, if somebody's embarrassed, their face can turn red. Or somebody can be nervous. They can go to an interview, like a job interview. They could be excited about it, but also simultaneously feel nervous, and they can have sweaty palms. And so you can see the mind-body connection can happen even with emotions that are suppressed or emotions that a person's feeling. And that's, of course, what was going on in his case. Now, part of the reason that I wanted to share that with you with insights with trauma is because so often I'll see people doing one of two things. Is either they are feeling like they don't have any trauma, and going, well, it can't be the mind-body connection. And that was me, by the way. I thought, I don't have any trauma. It can't be. It's not my mind. Because I also had an accident. And so, but of course, I learned to understand suppressed emotions in a whole nother way. So that was one thing. But a lot of people will do that. They'll feel that very thing where they're feeling like it can't possibly be the mind. I get it. The other thing that I see happen all of the time is so often people will end up going through one trauma after another, digging up every single thing they can find, and end up making their situation worse, where they're feeling more heavy or more like traumas all around them, or their health isn't getting better and they're more stuck. And so that's one of the insights that I want to share with you today is exactly that, is just that it doesn't have to be a trauma per se to really get the results and to create the change. And that's one of the things that our volunteer, he showed today was exactly that. So as I was working with him, and after he said, I don't really have any trauma, as we started to really explore what was going on, there were a couple insights that I want to share. One of them had to do with this feeling like he had normal parental concern, if you will, but it was a lot of fear inside that he was suppressing. And so one of the things that happened is, of course, he was suppressing it and trying to just normalize it, saying, it's normal parenting fear. And that was part of it because he has 2 children. And so one of them was a lot more fear, but he was just trying to suppress those feelings. And so that's something that you'll want to look at in your own life. If you're suppressing those feelings, it's so common. I was doing the same thing, but really resolving them is key. Now, as we explore further, one of the other insights that was really helpful in his is that the mixed emotions, because he had these suppressed feelings, and he also had these feelings of kind of wanting to run away from the ex, if you will. And by the way, simultaneously, Mathias's energy is just so grounded. He's got this deep voice, this energy, this strong feeling, just a very strong, confident type of feeling to him. And yet simultaneously with his ex, there was just this feeling of just wanting to run away, to get away from it, to feel frustrated with the situation. And that was another feeling that he had been suppressing. And so if I were to summarize for a moment, really what was key in helping him to get results was ultimately looking at these suppressed emotions and helping him to start shifting them. Now, what he was able to do is he had shoulder pain, And it wasn't that high, but what would happen is at night it spikes way up and it keeps him up at night. And so when we worked on it, it was just about a level 1, 2, but he was able to get it almost gone. And then so he could see the change, but also the other thing was his ear. He felt like his ear was blocked, like that feeling of, when you get off an airplane and you feel like your ear is kind of blocked. He was experiencing that very thing in his ear about a level 4. Now, what was great is he was able to bring it almost gone. And in his job, he's an audio engineer. And so, of course, his hearing is very important. And so it was just something that had been bothering him for a long period of time that he hadn't been able to get rid of. And so what I love, again, from a session is whatever is people have going on in their physical symptoms, I love when they work with the mind and they can really see the shift in real time and that create that change, because the thing it highlights is just this. It's just that we as human beings are so incredible, and what we are capable of is beyond what most people realize. And so I just loved watching him create that shift, if you will. And so those are two powerful insights, is just those suppressed emotions. And it doesn't need to be a trauma, just understanding and noticing what those are and creating that real shift is key. And of course, it does take follow through. It does. So even though he was able to create this shift, of course, I'm going to ask him to follow through and ingrain it all of the way and reprogram his subconscious mind to get it in. So that, of course, is key to get lasting results. So those are the insights that I want to share with you today. And of course, as always, if you want to listen to the actual session where I worked with him, where you can hear him making these changes, you can click on the link in the show notes and you can listen to the actual session itself. Or if you are somebody who would like to understand more of the logic behind mind-body healing and how it works, there's also a free training in the show notes available as well. So there's that. And as always, I want to ask you, please do take just a quick moment to hit the share button on this episode. Share it with somebody you love, somebody you care about, or somebody you don't even know, because the more that every single person in our world feels healthy and happy and loved and loving, truly, the better this world is for all of us. And so please do make a point to hit the share button, and please do have an incredible rest of your day. I look forward to connecting with you on the next episode. We'll see you there.